Welcome back, everybody. It is a new season, and we are ready to launch the real Big Three again for the 2020. Really, let's just call it what it is. It's the 2021 season. Yes, it started a little bit before Christmas, but most of the season, 95% of it, is going to be all in 2021. This recording is happening in 2020, the only Big Three that will happen in 2020 this year. So we are happy to be back. And if you guys are not familiar or do not remember how this works, it is me, Scott Bogman. You can follow me on the Twitter at Bogman Sports from In This League. I'm joined by Jonas Nader at Jonas Nader on the Twitter machine, and at Dan Bespris for Dan Bespris from Hoopball on the Twitter. And boys, it was a very short offseason, as you both know, and we are rolling right along. We're a week through already, and Jonas, just happy to have basketball back in this weird year, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird year. So what happens if you win a fantasy basketball championship? Do we have an asterisk beside our name on Yahoo or Fantrax, or how does
I think that was for the 2020 season. That was because I've never won my home league. It's the only home league that I have that I have not won the championship in, and I left in first place this year. So does that count? Did I win, or am I not counting it?
What kind of league is it? Head-to-head?
It's a head-to-head league.
Yeah, you can't count that.
I'm going to make you sick. I was in first in every league last year because I didn't have a single injury. It was the perfect year. And then March, I'm
didn't have a single injury?
No.
What are you, a wizard?
I had the only injury I dodged was I traded Cat for someone. I don't even remember who I traded him for, but I dodged Cat right before he went down for good. And I just had this clean slate of injury. Every team I was playing against had 6 IR players. It was just smooth sailing. And here I am just dodging left and right. And then the season, and I'm like, well, great. Get no money.
I think as long as we finish this one, I don't even care if if my name is on something. I just want to get paid.
Yeah,
right. The money that I'm winning from these dang things. They were we had to do some finagling last year. Roto leagues, you could piecemeal it together because you were 10% from the end of the year, basically.
Right.
And you just had to pay out everyone that was playoff eligible, basically. That sucked.
Yeah, and Yahoo gave back everyone their money, even the ones that were eliminated. That was
poppycock Yahoo.
Yeah. Not that.
More issues with Yahoo. What a surprise. But like I said, we're going to be doing this every week. We're going to be posting this every week live. So if you would like to, in the middle of your work day when most people are working from home, pop in and watch a little bit of fantasy basketball coverage, please feel free. The way we do this is each of us picks 3 topics to discuss in the fantasy basketball world, and we go person by person. So I'm just age before beauty, so I'm going to go first in this one. I do believe I'm the oldest one here, so it's going to be me. And Jonas, your guy Ja Morant went down last night, and looks like it's a pretty big blow. It looked like a bad ankle sprain. The MRI or the X-ray came back negative, so nothing broke. But he is looking at an extended absence with an ankle sprain. So, I mean, is it Kyle Anderson? Are we waiting for? Is it Tyus Jones? Are we waiting for Melton to come off the COVID list? Who is going to step up in the meantime with your son, Jaren Jackson Jr. down, and Ja Morant gone?
I wasn't going to mention him, by the way, but thanks for doing that for me.
Yeah. Well,
you did 10 minutes from the show, so thank you.
Right. Some things do never change, pandemic or not. So
I'm going to say, well, Kyle Anderson's already gone. He's the kind of the sleeper that no one that I know of had as a sleeper, which I'm ashamed that I didn't, because I watch Memphis all the time. I should have seen this coming. He was actually hitting threes in the bubble, and yet I didn't see this coming. So Kyle Anderson's already gone, long gone. So that's out the window. So I think you look at Tyus Jones, who I don't know how you guys feel about Tyus Jones. He's just okay. You're probably looking at 10 points, 7 or 8 dimes, 1 or 2 steals a game, which is good enough. It's serviceable, but we don't even know how long Ja's going to be out. Initially, he couldn't put any weight on his foot, so they brought out the wheelchair. But then 30 minutes later, he was out there cheering. He was standing up, down comfortably. So whether it's a 1-week absence or a 4-week absence, we just don't know. But I think you do pick up Tyus Jones just for now. And Melton, he could be another week away from COVID list. We've seen the protocols. It could be 4 days. I don't know if it's a contact thing or if he actually had it. I don't think that's even been clear yet. So maybe next week you start looking at Melton if you need steals. But right now, Tyson's a go-to because we're all assuming that Kyle Anderson's the man right now, and he's been long gone off the waiver wire. And
I picked him up. I picked him up this morning
Nice.
off of a waiver wire. So
Wow, that's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, he's not gone in every single league. There's plenty of Ruben Boob leagues where he could still be available. So, Dan, what are your thoughts on John Morant going down?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit down on Ja. He got off to this super hot start, and this stinks for him. Like Memphis is one of my season win total under bets. I just didn't like the way they finished last year. It didn't seem like they sort of lost their grit at the All-Star break. And he was trying to push them back into it a little bit. You got to pick up someone, though, because they're not defending anyone at all. So everything Memphis is doing right now is just trying to keep up with opponents by scoring 115 points. And boring, I'm by the way, 100% agree. Tyus Jones is super boring. But in an offense that's going to put up $115, you kind of need to have him. I was looking at DeAnthony Melton this morning, who, Jonas, he's one of your guys, too, and for good reason. He has a great fantasy stat set. But like you also said, we have no idea. They've given us no indication of when he's going to be eligible to return. I would hope. I mean, he played 25 minutes in their first game, so I got to think that's the plan. And if Ja's still out, maybe that number goes up. I'd be way more excited about Melton if we had any idea when he was coming back.
Yeah. And so we're just going to have to pay attention. And like you said, Tyus Jones available in most leagues on Yahoo, 7% owned. Kyle Anderson, only 50% right now. So he's available in some spots. So
man, what's going to happen when when JJJ comes back? Who gets the backup 4 minutes there? Is it Anderson or is it Clark? Like, the Grizzlies are in a pickle there. Like, Clark's the future, no doubt, but can you go back to him right now the way Anderson's playing? I don't think you can.
Yeah, I think you got to roll with Anderson. Anderson just got in a league. Somebody hit me up on my stream last night. I was streaming during Monday Night Football, and they were talking about how someone offered them Robert Covington for Kyle Anderson, and my thought was, you take that, take that immediately. But Anderson has been playing well. I mean, is that as automatic as I made it out to be, Jonas?
I would say so. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. Like I said, the thing about Anderson is the key for him was to get a 3-point shot. Like, players have given him the Rondo treatment for 10 years, just sagging off him, just let him back, like the Ben Simmons treatment, where they just give him 5 feet of space. They can't do that anymore. Anderson's hitting threes now, so that's really unlocked his game. And we saw yesterday with Tyus off the floor, Kyle Anderson was the point guard. So a lot of upside here in the early going for him.
My second topic here is back-to-back resting players already. Is there anyone, Dan, we'll start with you on this one, that was kind of a surprise as far as, whoa, this guy is getting rested on back-to-backs, or is everything kind of status quo, exactly what we expected?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just assumed that anyone that was like 32 or older was going to sit every back-to-back at this point. Like, it's this year with the quick turnaround, there's going to be, I'm more surprised when a veteran doesn't sit out a back-to-back this year. It's really, I mean, I think you had to budget that in on draft day. Everybody's like, I can't take that guy because of rest. But you kind of have to flip that on its head. You have to target specific guys that you're pretty confident won't rest. Like, I think a good example is someone like Donovan Mitchell, who per game wise, I don't know that his per game numbers are ever going to blow past, in 9Cat at least, that like that top 35 mark. That's sort of just where he maxes out because of limitations in his game. Last year, I think he was in like right around 45 or 50 per game because he doesn't get a ton of steals, and his field goal percentage is probably never going to be that great, but he rarely misses time. And I know that there's the whole you're healthy until you're not thing, but like that's a guy that in head-to-head, he can just pile up stats. You want a guy who, when he has a 4-game week, plays in all 4 games. In Roto, it's a little bit of a different strategy because, like half the league is taking rest days. The average number of games played this season is probably going to be about 64, probably out of 72 for most regular everyday guys. So when people are like, oh, no, I can't touch Kawhi because he's only going to play 60, you kind of have to grade that against a 64 instead of a 72 and or potentially target those other guys if you really want to accrue stats. So short version, no, nothing's really surprised me so far. And I think strategically, it's been fine to take guys that have scheduled rest days because everybody gets it now.
Yeah. I mean, I also think this partly could be Dan doing mental gymnastics, so he has to like some players in the NBA. If he's not going to like the young players at all, and the veterans all get rested, Who is there left to like, Dan?
DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray is the only player left for me.
I love him.
All those he's got to like only guys between 24 and 30. That's Dan's window.
One guy who's going to try to play through stuff unless it's catastrophic season-ending injury, and is also cool because he doesn't score a ton, so not everybody wants him. There you go. That's the confluence of if Dan hated everyone, who wouldn't Dan hate? It's DeJounte Murray.
Was Anthony Davis the biggest like buzzkill though, sitting already?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like, I think he got hurt in the opener, which I didn't see it. Did you guys see him get hurt?
Totally.
Get hurt.
I mean, it's still Anthony Davis. He's still slipping on brooms and heading back to the locker room at least once a game. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want him
story.
playing right now. He's totally still asleep from the championship. He hasn't blocked a shot in 3 games this year.
Yeah.
I know why though. He's been pulled away from the basket so much. He said last night, he said he's been guarding like the Kawhis of teams, like the 4s. So he hasn't been near the basket at all, which sucks. So like Marc Gasol has kind of hurt Davis a little bit. You know what I mean? Like Davis' refusal to play the 5 full time. If Davis played the 5 full time, like good grief, his stats would be through the roof. But
You think we could buy low? Do you think we could buy low on AD? Do you think anybody sort of noticed that it's been a slow start? I would if I could.
Oh, absolutely, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you guys. I would if I could. I just don't think you're going to be able to do that quite yet.
It's going to be a tough try. Who's someone like I'm thinking, and I know that this takes us off course a little bit, but everybody's like, well, how can I pull that off? I think you have to look for someone, probably a late first rounder that's overperforming. Just try to trade up within the first round. Otherwise, you're going to get your offer is going to get laughed off the stage. So like, I don't know who's a late first that's been crushing so far. Like Jokic. Jokic is a mid first who's had some crazy games, but like right now, Jokic is averaging more steals and more blocks than Anthony Davis. We know that's not going to hold all year.
Mm-hmm.
He had a career high assist the other day against the Rockets.
Like 18, was it?
Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jokic is absolutely on fire. Yeah, I mean, anything to that? Anything else with that? Are you surprised by anyone that's sat on back-to-backs yet, Jonas?
I would say Kyrie was a little surprising. Like I expected Kevin Durant to sit out early back-to-back, but I think Kyrie sitting out this early was kind of surprising for me personally. And I took Kyrie. Like I'm an SGA guy. Everyone knows I'm a big fanboy, but every time I was in the draft in the late second round and I saw Kyrie and SGA, I went Kyrie.
Oh yeah.
And I feel confident about that decision right now, even though SGA looks great, obviously, but the turnovers are insane right now because he's the guy right now and there's not much help around them. But I'm still happy with Kyrie in the late second round. He's playing at a first round level, but I don't think he's going to be resting back-to-backs down the road. Like, I think this is just an early season thing for both him and Durant. And we've already heard Durant say, like, I want to reevaluate this situation later. Like, I don't want to do that the whole time. So,
and a lot of those guys will do that too. You'd expect AD to not have it so early in every single game, but that they were one of those teams. Dan talked about it on ITL before, where it was they played late into the season, so it's not that surprising to see them early in the year already sitting. My last one here for you guys is who's just been the most impressive for you so far. Kind of these unexpected starts. I mean, we've had Garland is great, Boucher's great, Dort, Dragic. So Jonas, who is the guy that is impressing you the most so far?
I'm going to say Lou Dort. Now, I put him on my sleeper list, but I can't take credit for it because I just put pure mystery box upside because we had no idea what to expect. Like, if anyone told you that you were going to expect Lou Dort to average 20 points per game in the first season, they would have laughed at you. Like, we're not expecting these numbers going forward. He's number 19 right now. It's Lou Dort. But we will say, the dude is built like an ox, man. He is the strongest guy I know. So the fact that he's added some driving ability and shot to the rim is huge. He's taking 24 shots through 2 games, and only one of them's been mid-range. So people are still giving him like 10 speed of phase. Like, here, Lou Dort, go shoot. Like, they're still letting Lou Dort shoot, and he's actually hitting them now. Like, he hit 29% last year from 3. This year, he's actually hitting them. So that's the key to the game. And now when he gets that space too, he's also driving to the rim. He's had all these acrobatic finishes at the rim. And when he drives, no one is getting in his way. Like, I promise you, people are literally getting out of his way, clearing the lane for him. He's terrifying. Lou Dort is a terrifying player. He is huge, massive. So I would not get away. Like, it's like Aaron Baines coming down the lane. You would not want to get in front of that. Lou Dort is the Aaron Baines of shooting guards. So I'm all in on him. I think he could be top 75 because the steals and blocks were already there. But now that he's added 3-point shooting and driving, man, this is a lot of fun. I like it.
Yeah, right now, Dort 19th overall, 33 minutes game, shooting 60%, 87.5 on 4 attempts per game from the line, 3 triples, 20.5 points, 3.5 boards, an assist and a half, a steal and a half a block, and only 1 turnover. So these numbers are incredible for Dort so far. Dan, is Dort your guy, or do you have another one?
Yeah, it's got to be Dort. Because the rest of the guys, at least the guys on this sort of who's been overperforming list, are guys that I don't want to say that we've seen them do it before, but like take, for instance, Boucher, who we knew would be a per-minute monster if he got the minutes. That question wasn't whether or not he could be a fantasy guy. It was, will they play him enough for him to rack up those all the stats? And they did in that in the game against a smaller front court. Another name on your list, Darius Garland. He actually played pretty well towards the end of last year. You could kind of see the makings of fantasy value there with points, assists, some threes, a little bit of steals mixed in. With Dragic, I'm down on Goran. Eventually, his percentages are going to level off to where they always are, and so you kind of
trade him now.
Yeah, that one's a pretty clear. So when you have that type of portfolio on a guy and you know what's coming, utilize that. But Dort, yeah, 100% on the Dort bandwagon. Watching him play live, he actually looked quicker this year. So I don't know if that was an agility thing he's been working on. He's still gigantic, but he was moving fast. He was getting past people. We know he can stay in front of folks on defense because of his strength, but he added something on offense. It's not going to be this good all year. He's shooting.
It's not polished by any means. He's like Marcus Smart without the playmaking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, very similar. Is he like an inch or two taller, maybe? But yes, he's at 61% from the field. Obviously, that's not going to stick. I would love to see a little bit of rebounding. Darius Bazley is grabbing every damn rebound on that team right now. Yeah. But so if Dort can add a rebound, a half an assist, just something to sort of shore up the things that we know are going to come back. The percentages, the threes are probably not going to stick at 3 a game. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. He's a must-own guy because he looks legitimately better beyond just the fact that the shots are going in right now.
And available in most leagues, 38% owned on
Zero of my leagues available.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I go to that, whether it's on Yahoo or Fantrax or wherever I'm at, I click on ownership. Not available for me anywhere. You know, Kyle Anderson was the only guy.
What the hell pick in the 13th round this year? I was like, what the hell? I'm out drop.
Yeah, it's smart though, because we had a feeling he was going to play. We just had no idea what was going to come of it.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, that's my 3. So Jonas, it is on you. Start with number 1 here.
Let's start with the Thunder because like the Grizzlies were my favorite team to watch last year. This year, it's the Thunder. We got to talk about SGA. Do I think he lives up to his late second round, early third round ADP? If he does, it's just barely. I have him pegged as more of a late third round guy, and that's why, unfortunately, and I'm one of his biggest fans, and I wasn't able to grab him this year, which was a little annoying. I do have him in a couple of dynasties, but some positive signs for sure. He's 8th in usage rate in the league, which is pretty insane. That's going to stick to as well. Or Horford and George Hill are both sitting tonight, so we're talking about a 4% usage rate tonight. I would say 4.5 turnovers per game. We're already seeing one of the weaknesses there. Like he doesn't have a ton of help. Like so that's going to be there. Efficiency, we've already seen a drop there too. He's going to be gassed. We see the Luka effect of the free throw line where he's just going to be completely gassed halfway through the game. So he's going to see a drop there. So if you have SGA, I think you're okay with it right now because the padding stats are just going to be through the roof, the popcorn stats. But the upside of second rounder, like people are hoping, I don't think it's there. And one more Thunder player I want to talk about is Darius Bazley. Man, where are you guys on him? You guys have him in your leagues?
I don't think I got him anywhere, and it's because you came on our show and talked him up. So in the leagues I'm in, everyone heard you talking about him. So I didn't get a shot to draft him anywhere. So Jonas, you have Bazley anywhere?
Yeah, I do. I have him almost. I think it's like 16 of 20 leagues, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh my God, 16 of 20. Dan, how many
lineups like setting lineup? I need like 3 cups of coffee to set all my lineups in the morning.
I know, I
forgot one. I did 5 out of my 6 daily cash lineups yesterday. I just straight up forgot one, and Dame was on my bench. A total idiot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But he was legit early on, though. 12 points, 10.5 rebounds, 0.5 assists. That's going to come up. 0.5 steals. That's going to come up. 1.5 blocks. That's going to hold. And 1.5 triples. That'll actually go up, too, because he was 1 of 5 in the opener, and he actually shot it really well in the bubble. 50% from the free throw line. That's going to come up. 50% from the field. This is a 6'9" guy that moves like a guard, one of the most athletic players I've seen. He can handle, he can pass, he can shoot. I'm all in on him. OKC's been gutted of talent, man. Like there's just so much opportunity for him, Dort, SGA, all those guys.
And
Man.
Jonas, you can do per 36 on him because he's playing 33 minutes a game.
Exactly. I don't even have to. This is amazing. Per 33 minutes for guys. Yeah, like I'm all in. I love it. Like this is so exciting.
I was told this was the year of the per 24s. I was promised per 24s.
What do you think about these Thunder, and how many shares of these guys do you own, Dan?
I have to add one more Thunder to the list, and it's got to be the old one, old Georgie Porgy. I got a lot of George
You
Hill.
tweeted about him yesterday, didn't you?
A couple days ago, yeah, because that first game, it didn't happen until Saturday because their first one got postponed. He played 12
Rockets. Yeah,
I think he played the first 7 or 8 minutes of the ball game and looked really good. And I thought, damn, if this guy's going to play even close to starters minutes, George Hill is an efficiency monster. Has been for a long time. As that game unfurled, we saw that they weren't planning on playing him much at the end of the second quarter. He slipped in for another 4 minutes or something. And then it looks like he plays the last 3 or 4 minutes, 5 maybe in the fourth quarter. So they're targeting more like 24, 25 minutes. But that's a top 100 guy with the fact that, his field goal percent, his free throw percent, both very good. He can hit the three. He can rebound for a guard because he's pretty tall and long. Steals has always been something he's good at. So he's not as exciting as Dort, who's really fun to watch right now. Baisley, I'm curious what happens with his field goal percent because we didn't get a great look at that last year, but he's rebounding like an insane person on that team. But I think they really want George Hill. Jonas was talking about how Shea has no help, and he's 100% right. They can't just throw him out there with a bunch of young guys, or it's going to be like just a hellscape. Balls flying everywhere, turnovers, bad shot selection. So they need Big Al. They need George Hill to just kind of keep the car on the road for the young guys, and he looks great in that role. I mean, he was pretty close to 12-team worthy in like 20 minutes last year, so get him up to 24, 25. I like George Hill as a super efficient roto guy.
Yeah, way better than Mitchell Robinson, right, you guys?
Yeah,
I heard you guys were making fun of me on one of your shows you did together. No way that's true, right? Those rumors that's all fake news, right?
I have Mitch. I have some Mitches on my team.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Way better than Noel this year. But Jonas, subject number 2, what do you got?
All right, so last year we were able to see that Rashawn Holmes and Devontae Graham were like the waiver wire pickups of the year, like within a week, and then Christian Wood later on, like week 3 or 4. This year might be Keldon Johnson. We've seen some very positive signs. So like coming into the year, like it was interesting. Keldon was actually hurt in the preseason, missed all of preseason. Pop doesn't really like young players in his rotation, like that's well known. So the fact that he started him right away, that was huge. Played 33 minutes in the opener, and right now he's at 30 minutes per game through 3, 56th ranked player, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.7 steals, 1 blocks, and 1 triples. And the thing is he's not even shooting the ball that well right now compared to last year too. So there's literally another gear for Keldon to hit. If we're talking early waiver wire pickups of the year, I think Keldon's number 1, and Kyle Anderson might be number 2 or number 3.
I'm absolutely with you. I every place I could get Keldon, which I think was only 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have 6 leagues. I picked him up in 2, but anywhere he was available, I added him. So after that first night, you were tweeting about him. He's getting a lot of buzz, and he has played great. Like you said, a little trepidation because of Pop's history with younger players, but I mean, Pop makes Dan look like he loves young players. So
yeah, I'm more in the Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, right. Middling, not as bad as Pop, but not great for sure. But yeah, man, I'm with you. Keldon Johnson has been great, and hopefully this sticks throughout the year. Dan, how many did you get him anywhere?
Got him in 1 spot.
1 spot. All right.
Yeah, it was a fast scooper. So I'm gonna pull back the curtain on life these days. It is really hard to beat people to the waiver wire when multiple children are part of your evening plans. It is like I'm sitting at the dinner table and I'm trying to flip through 10 box scores while one kid is yelling at me to read the book about, daddy's butt falling off or whatever weird book my mom got. And the baby's screaming, and my wife's trying to feed the baby, and she's like, "Why can't you get the apple slice for the older one?" I'm like, "I gotta pick up Keldon Johnson." He's gone. before I can get
Yeah.
there. So
And
I got
everyone working from home now too.
Oh.
People are more able to follow along on the news and all that good stuff.
yeah, go back to work, people. I need this advantage again. I'm getting crushed.
Yeah,
No, it's good. Stay safe.
yeah, of course.
I gotta say though, Demar starting at the 4 is huge for all those Spurs wings too. Like they just had such a huge surplus of wings, so Demar starting at the 4 is absolutely huge. And the hope here is that when Derek White comes back, which should be like 2 or 3 weeks, the hope here is that it takes Patty Mills minutes away, maybe a couple from Lonnie, and that way Keldon can just stay in that 30-minute range. That's going to be the key for him.
Oh, we did get a question on our last subject here.
Okay.
Neil asked, who should I drop for Basley, Carter Jr. or Brandon Clark? I would say probably Clark, but Jonas, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say Clark. I don't necessarily think Clark is droppable in a vacuum, but if you're picking up Basley, I think that's fine to do.
Dan?
I'm probably sticking with Carter Jr. and Clark, and this may be the roto versus head-to-head mentality. Jonas more of a head-to-head guy. Clark started to show signs yesterday. Missed his free throws, which is weird. And I know there's the whole shot thing going on, which might be part of it. But 16-7, I think, was the line last night. Good efficiency. He'll just sort of pile up nice roto stats all season long. I have some concerns with what Bazley might do on the percentages side of things. And so with head-to-head, you can get rid of that, really.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last topic here, Dan, or Jonas, excuse me. What do you have?
Let's see what I had. Christian Wood. I put Christian Wood. That is all. I want to get your thoughts as a Houston guy. What are your thoughts of Christian Wood early on? You loving it or what?
I do. I was freaked out yesterday. I don't know if you guys were watching it, but he came down kind of hard, was grabbing his knee, and it did not look good. The announcers were, oh boy, a lot of that. So we'll see. He played after it, so it seems like he'll be okay.
Yeah.
If he does miss a game, it'd probably be just a game, maybe 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
But you have to take everything that the Rockets are doing right now, even Harden still being 1 overall, with a grain of salt, because we haven't seen Cousins and we haven't seen Wall or Eric Gordon yet play in the 2 games that the Rockets have played so far. So I love what Christian Wood's doing. He seems to fit right in. I think he's going to have a fantastic year, but I'm taking everything I see from Houston with a grain of salt, knowing that so many players have been missing because they were the dumbasses with COVID already. It was, in baseball we were watching, and I think it was the Cardinals first, and then the Marlins had an outbreak. It might've been the Marlins first, if I'm remembering correct, but the Rockets are the only team messing stuff up right now. So I
forget the rookie that it was the rookie who had it, and they all went to a haircut together.
Kenyon Martin Jr., right?
Yeah. Is that who it was? Okay.
The rest of the Boogie, Wall, Gordon, they don't have it, but they're in the testing because they were
contact tracing. Yeah.
Get a haircut alone. That's a lesson.
You guys are learning this on the fly. I've gone through this. Baseball had this, and football has had it sometimes too, where your guys are just missing, and it's tough S. You got to go find someone else.
I mean, my wife cut my hair. That's why I look like Kramer right now.
Yeah, I'm wearing a hat. My wife also cut my hair. Nice, Jonas. I love it.
What the hell is a haircut? What are you guys talking about? I don't even know what a haircut is right now. I haven't had a haircut in 3 years, so I'm doing okay without it. But yeah, man, it's going to be annoying. We're going to get more of these. We're going to get more of these COVID, and contact tracing and all that stuff happening now that we're not in a bubble for the NBA. So this is the beginning, and it's already annoyed me, but we're just going to have to power through here. But Christian Wood has been awesome, and I expect him to be awesome the whole year. I think this is a great signing, and he's, fast-paced offense, all that good stuff. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, he's going to be great. Just like you said, slight step back. He's averaging 40 minutes a game right now. That probably won't hold, but hell yeah, it's going to be a great year. I've almost no concerns on him. He's we've known about his fantasy ability forever. Curious if they play him at the 4 next to Boogie for stretches. They got a lot of things they can play with. They finally have big men in Houston after the small ball stuff went up in flames. But yeah, I mean, like you said, they're missing 3 very high usage guys, 2 of whom probably shouldn't be that high of usage roll the dice on which two I'm talking about there. So yeah, slight step back, but you know, he's going to be great. He's going to be great. That's it.
It should be noted though, like his usage is not going anywhere because 3 times in that game, Harden always gets the ball like right away off rebounds. 3 times in that game, Wood got the rebound, looked at Harden, and said, "Nah, I'm good." Carried down the floor, went for a layup. Like Wood's going to get his usage. He's that good. And the reason I'm optimistic is if you look at his per minute numbers across the board for the last 6 years, it's always consistent. He always produces no matter what.
Yeah, I'm excited about him. I thought that was a great signing. And at first, remember, they said, "Oh, the Rockets signed Christian Wood," and then they said, "Well, it's not done yet." And I went, "Oh, well, he's definitely leaving if you know, something like that pops out." But then we did end up getting him, so I was very, very excited. Well, look, if you're listening on the podcast, we do have to take a break here. But if you're watching us on YouTube, it will be a 2-second break. So we're going to take a break right here before we get to Dan's subjects. It's in this league. All right, Dan, time for your big 3. What is number 1 on the list?
Oh, and I had a light that was illuminating my face that just ran out of battery. So after I give, after I give my first one, I'm going to go turn on the actual room light, which is going to be weird looking, but we'll piecemeal it together. So Dan just went into the dark. How ridiculous. Yeah, it looks a little bit silly, doesn't it? Okay, so welcome to the haunted house. Dan's big 3. Let's talk about a couple of older guys that are in sort of weird situations, and I'm curious what you guys think is going to happen because I'm seeing them getting dropped in places, and I'm inclined to pick them up to let this ride a little bit. Those guys are Ricky Rubio and Otto Porter Jr., who is, I should note, markedly beefier than he has been in the past. Rubio, it seems like there's a big adjustment process happening, but we know that he can pile up assists in a hurry. And I get the feeling that they're very slowly ramping up Otto Porter Jr.'s minutes, but maybe you guys are seeing something different, and I'd love to hear it. So while I go turn on a light and vacate Disneyland's Haunted Mansion, what do you guys think about Ricky Rubio and Otto Porter Jr.? Are they holds? Are they pickups? How does this year shake out? Bogman, I'll throw it to you first.
I mean, I'm okay with Rubio. I think I agree with you. They're just trying to, you know, get the new guys in there, kind of adjust, see how it's going to work out. So, and Rubio's still getting assists and stuff too. So, I am going to practice patience with him for sure. Porter, I'm a little less confident in. I don't know that I'm going to go, you know, dumping him for anyone. If some of the guys that we mentioned before are available if Basley, you know, Johnson, Anderson, if those guys are available, of course, I would dump Porter for one of those guys. But I think other than that, there's no one like leaping off the page at me that I really have to go get. So I will have a little bit of patience, but I think I give pretty much a pass to Rubio and maybe it's time to move on from Porter. Jonas, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. We haven't even seen Thaddeus Young yet, so that's another factor for Otto Porter Jr. because I think his best position is a small ball 4. So Rubio, I think it's a buy low. 23 minutes right now. I think it's gonna be closer to 27. D'Angelo Russell, I love him, but he's better off the ball. Like he's elite off the ball. He's just above average on the ball. So getting Rubio alongside Russell, I think would be a huge for both of their values. So not to mention catch injuries opens up a lot more minutes there.
Yeah.
Gachakoji just got hurt. So this is a perfect time for Rubio to bounce back. So I would send maybe a buy low offer here, but Otto Porter, I'm completely off. I think Patrick Williams looks like a very NBA ready rookie too. So I think they're going to be feeding him minutes.
He's going to have up and downs though.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, all rookies do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not at the Dan level of hate of the young men, but yeah, I mean, he is. Yeah,
remember, I'm the rookie guy and only had one in the top 100, and that's Wiseman.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that, I mean, Marquise Chris getting hurt is going to help him a ton too. So, yeah, I think that's probably where it should be is hang on to Rubio. He's going to turn around. Otto Porter, if you got to drop him, you got to drop him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let the rookie hate course through your veins. Gentlemen, when is Anthony Davis going to block his first shot? Will it be the next ball game, Jonas, or will it be 2 games, 3 games?
It'll be the next game. I'm confident. Can I bring out a 36? This is a 3 per 36 guy. It's happening.
Yes.
We already said they've already asked him this question too, and he was like, "It's because I've been stretched away from the basket so far, just because of the matchups he's seen so far." As a result, we haven't really seen the bigger teams that he'll play against. So the blocks are coming. Like I said, if you can flip a late first rounder for him, even with the back-to-back rest possibility, you do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm with Jonas. It's not going to be long. Like I was, I'm more worried about Collins than I am AD as far as blocks go, but because Capella's going to play
my next
on
one.
him.
That's my next topic is panic meter guys.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we can go just right into that if you want, but yeah, I'm not worried about AD. I think he's going to get his first block real soon, and he'll start putting up fine numbers again. It's just with AD, it's stepping on minds. If he wasn't resting on back to backs or constantly injured, he would be the number one player. He would be there ahead of Harden, but he's got these risk factors. So got to go with Harden first. Still, fat Harden.
All right, I want to do this one as a little bit more of a lightning roundy kind of thing. We're going to go panic meter, although I realize that there may be some explanations required on a few of them. So we'll start with Collins. Jonas, I'll go to you first on this one. Panic meter from 1 to 10. How panicked are you on John Collins, who, by the way, despite being very quiet so far, is actually still number 46?
Yeah, I would say 10 being the highest. I would say it's a 4. We've only seen Capella for one time, so I think that's going to hurt him a little bit. Block rates are going to come down. His usage is down about 2 or 3% already this year. But like you said, we've seen his floor, and that's 48. Like, it's not getting worse than this. He's 48 right now. It's only going to go up. The whole contract situation was weird. Like, I feel like there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know of, or else why wouldn't they extend John Collins after the year he just had? So that makes me a little nervous. It also makes me a little nervous that they took another very, very promising rookie, Onyeka, of the number 6 pick. So eventually they're going to want to get him some run behind Capella, and that takes away the potential for backup 5 minutes for Collins too. So that's very tricky. Other than that, the panic meter is very low for Collins though, considering.
Yeah, the number I was thinking was 3. All the stuff that Jonas just said, plus just moving a little bit further away from the basket may take those blocks down, but everything else can be fine.
And just a heads up, I think the kids are home, so I'm going to be using the mute and cam stop.
Yeah, well, we're wrapping up here. This is our last subject.
How obvious has it been when I reach forward, turn my mic on and off like that in the middle of things going on?
Yeah.
Next panic guy, Yusuf Nurkic. Bogman, I'll go to you first on this one. He's right now in a timeshare with Enes Kanter. That can't last, can it?
No, my level on Nurk is like a 2. I mean, I'm not going to worry about him yet. This is just a first couple game thing. He's going to be fine, and Enes Kanter will go and enter a hot dog eating contest or something very, very soon, and be out for us. So I'm not worried about Yusuf at all. So a 2 for me.
Yeah, and they're not even using them how they did in the playoffs either, where they're running the high post offense, kind of like the Sabonis offense in Indiana. They haven't done that yet, so that's going to come. Nurkic was eighth best player in 9-cat last year. Like, it's going to come. Just don't panic at all. And Enes Kanter's not going to be playing this many minutes.
That was amazing timing, by the way. On what just happened. My child gets to take the cell phone on the potty right now. He was
the name tag covered it. It was perfect.
Yeah. I thought he might have hopped into my lap. He jumped in for a different show I was doing the other day. Now it's like
a hidden reaction. I loved it.
Last one on my panic meter, and this one I think maybe a little bit more deserving of panic is Nerlens Noel. Jonas, I'll go to you first on this one. He's not playing right now. What's going on? Tibbs usually favors veterans. He gave Mitchell Robinson, Bogman, he gave him 30 some odd minutes in that last ball game.
I'll go 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 or 9. Noel just the low amount of minutes. It's the same stuff that's happened to him at every stop that he's had.
13 per game.
Yeah, it's so awful. Like, we just want this guy to earn a little bit of playing time and go. Thibodeau is just not very forgiving. You know what I mean? So guy keeps making mistakes. He's going to keep not getting minutes. So I'm very concerned. I think he's very droppable in most leagues right now, which sucks. But because we were expecting him to do something, but makes it okay for Mitchell Robinson, which makes it okay for me.
Yeah. That's all I got, guys. Those are the 3 guys on my panic meter.
Jay wanted to ask a couple real quick. How about Brook Lopez, number 1? Dan, we'll start with you on him.
0. I have no panic at all. Yeah, he's their guy. He solidifies their interior defense. He stretches the floor. There's nothing else they're going to do at that spot. He's cruising into the year as anyone on the Bucks should, frankly, because the regular season is silly for them. They should spend every second of every day between now and the playoffs figuring out what to do when a team packs the paint. That's it.
Jonas, same for you.
Yeah, it's Brooke Lopez. We know what he does. He's off or on. He's like the Terrence Ross of centers.
How about Lemon Pepper Lou? What do you think about Lemon Pepper Lou Williams, Jonas?
I'm not on Lou Williams. No upside there.
Shouldn't have been drafted unless you were punting field goals and turnovers, possibly also rebounds.
Okay, so
yeah, that's probably enough.
Yeah, just no worry about those guys at all. All right, because they shouldn't have been there anyway. Well, with that, Jonas taking off early, of course, or just turning off his camera anyway. But that is going to wrap it up for us. Dan, what do you have coming up at Hoop Ball?
Oh my God, everything! I am overloaded at the moment. We're doing sports betting a little bit more so now. Turn the clock back for me to my time over at pregame. We got the fantasy pass. We got the Discord going. All of that stuff. If you have, wait, I got to figure out where the camera's pointed. You see how that was really really suave as I swung my arm across the screen. Just that. Spell that. Follow me on Twitter. I'll let you know everything else that's going on over there. We're busy. We're real busy.
And at Dan Bespris is what he's pointing out for those of you that still listening.
Oh, yeah, right. Audio. Sure.
So at Dan Bespris.
They all barged in and were super loud. Sorry.
Hoop-ball.com for him. And Jonas, what is going on at Roto World for you this year?
Check me out in the waiver wire column every Sunday night. I'll have top pickups of the week. Got Keldon Johnson #1 this week. I think Kyle Anderson was #5. I should have moved him up higher, but whatever. You win some, you lose some. Check that out every Sunday at Roto World, at Jonas Nader, at Twitter.
And you're doing Twitch stuff too. Jonas is all over it. So just
Yep.
Check him out on the Twitter at Jonas Nader. And then for me, at Bogman Sports, please check out the ITL Army, patreon.com/ITL Army. So much fun. We do basketball, baseball, football, college football, minor league baseball. We got it all covered for you. These secret shows. We just did a Mandalorian podcast. I know Jonas was getting into that as well. So we got a lot of stuff and things, as we always say, for you guys. So please check that out. But that is going to wrap it up for us on this edition of The Real Big Three. We'll be back next week. Like I said, remember, we're doing these live on YouTube or Twitch or wherever. So just look for the tweet from, I'll tweet it out. These guys will retweet it. Every single week, we'll have this live for you guys to throw in questions and all that good stuff. So check it out, and we will see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.